Hello everyone. Alright, so I'm going to walk you through how to draw your value scales diagram. This is what we'll end up with, okay? So we're going to have 3 rows centered horizontally and vertically in the middle of the paper. These 3 rows will be broken up into 1-inch segments, which we will define as 1-inch boxes. We'll be using the top row, a middle row, and a bottom row. So 3 rows. How to do this. Alright, so we can take your 9x12 drawing paper, sulfite drawing paper. You're going to need H pencil, eraser, and a ruler. I want to use inches for this. To begin, make sure that your ruler is clean on the bottom so you're not smudging your paper up with goop. Alright, to begin, as I showed you before, we're going to have a 2-inch margin at the top and bottom, a 1-inch margin on the left and right. So to begin, we're going to mark off a margin, 1-inch margin on the left, 1-inch margin on the right, oriented with a 12-inch side at the top and bottom. And then we're also going to mark 2 inches down and 2 inches up from the 12-inch side, okay? So to begin, doesn't matter which one we start with, the 2-inch or the 1-inch. I'm going to mark 2 inches down and 2 inches up here on left and right along this 9-inch side. Now be careful when you look at your ruler, be clear where 0 is. It may be at the end of the ruler, it may be further in. Mine is right here, so make sure you know where 0 is. Put it at the edge of the paper and mark 2 inches. In this case, I'm going to go 2 inches down and 2 inches up. I'm going to use a little V-shaped mark. I worked for a general contractor when I was a high school student, and this is the way he directed me to measure lumber. He also taught me the adage, measure twice, cut once. Or in our case, we're going to measure twice, draw once here. So 2 inches down, 2 inches up. Make little V-shaped marks, all right? Turn your paper around, do the same thing for the other side. Measure 2 inches down from the 12-inch side and 2 inches up from the bottom. Okay, let's draw these lines. So to draw the line, place your pencil on the point that you've drawn, slide your ruler up to it, line up to the other point at the far side, and lightly draw your line through. Do the same for the other. If at any point during this video you feel like you're falling behind, just pause it and catch up. You can also rewind and replay. Okay, so now what we've done, you can see the rectangle starting to form here. We've centered it in the middle from top and bottom. Now we're going to make our sides here at 1 inch left and right along the 9-inch side. So we're going to take the ruler, put it along the line that we've drawn, put 0 at one end of the paper. We're going to measure 1 inch in from left and right. Okay, make some little V-shaped tick marks again. Slide your ruler down, do the same on the bottom line. Measure 1 inch. Connect these points as we've done before. Point to point. Draw a line. Point to point. See, my paper is not cut square, but that's okay. Alright, so now we've centered our rectangle in here. It should, if we've done this correctly, it should measure 10 inches, which it does. 10 inches by 5 inches. Okay, so 10 by 5, centered in the middle. Well, we are going to create a row here, here, and here now. So essentially what we'll be doing is making 1-inch marks along all sides and connecting those points. Place 0 at the edge of your centered rectangle and mark off at every inch with a V-shaped tick mark. Be careful. Measure carefully, please. Measuring is an essential life skill. You will be measuring at many points in your life. So, do it well. All right. We've made 1-inch marks along the top. Let's rotate it. Make 1-inch marks along the side now. Rectangle's a little off. That's okay. If it's a little off, just center the difference. This talk of measuring carefully, and I did not. But I believe it's because my paper is not cut square. All right, 1-inch mark there. Just keep going all the way around. And last side. Alright, so now we're going to connect these points. Let's draw the horizontals first. I think this would be a great way to do this. So let's draw our rows in here. We're going to connect the points left and right. Top and bottom. Left and right when we orient it the other way. Point to point. All right, so here are the rows. And now for the columns. Now keep in mind the second row and fourth row are empty spaces. We're only using the top first, third, and fifth rows. So when we do this, we're going to use the points at top and bottom, but we're going to skip the second and fourth row. So draw a line, stop, draw a line, stop, draw a line, stop. So you should have first, third, and fifth, where you've drawn your 1-inch box. Continue all the way across. Voila. Super bon. All right. So now we have 3 rows with 1-inch segments. We're going to label our diagram now. If you would like, you may take your eraser and erase these extra little lines here. No biggie if you don't. All right. So let's label this value scales along the top. The first row will demonstrate the shading method of cross-hatching. So we will label that. The middle row will be demonstrating soft shading. And we're going to number our value scales 1 through 10 going from left to right. So let's label 1, 2, 3 all the way across. The third column in the past, in class learning, we used charcoal as well. I'm going to skip that this year. So this row will be left blank unless you need it to practice some more if you have a problem with one of your rows up here. Okay, so we've labeled them 1 through 10. Now, on the value scale, 0 is white. I don't have a 0 square. Thought it was sort of a redundant thing to label. Just know that 0 is white and 10 is black. Boxes 1 through 3 are the light values. 4, 5, 6 are the mid values. 7, 8, 9 are the dark values. Let's do this. After 3 inches here, 1, 2, 3, I'd like you to line up your ruler again, straight down, and put a broken line in the second and fourth column. Broken line is just a dashed line, okay? Do the same thing at 6 inches. Put a broken line through the second and fourth rows. And lastly, 7, 8, 9 at 9 inches. Do the same. Broken line. All right. So effectively we split this into thirds. 10 is black, like I said. So we'll put black here. 7, 8, 9, these are the dark values. 4, 5, 6 are the mid values. And 1, 2, and 3 are the light values. All right? If you want, you can put 0 out here as white. Okay, so this is how we draw the value scale. Next up, we will be discussing how to use cross-hatching and soft shading to create a gradation from light to dark, going left to right. If you need to review this, please feel free to go back, rewind it, replay, finish this up. Make sure that each of these segments is 1 inch. All right. If you need help, you can also see me in Academy. Thank you guys. Good luck with this, and I'll see you in the next video.